Our top story today, President Trump ramping up efforts to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. In a social media post, Trump says he's pitching a one-on-one meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelenskiy that would be followed by a trilateral summit involving all three of them. Trump's latest diplomatic bid follows his Monday meeting with Zelensky and several European leaders at the White House, which comes just days after he attended a summit with Putin in Alaska. For more, let's bring in Bloomberg News desk editor Balazs Pans. Balazs, what was the outcome of the meetings in Washington? We know that everybody touted progress. How much progress was made?
Yes, Ms. Linda, this was certainly a very eventful full day of diplomacy in Washington. The biggest takeaway is perhaps the show of unity between the U.S. and Ukraine, which helped allay some of the concerns that the European leaders had going into the meeting off the back of the Putin-Trump summit in Anchorage. The tone was very different, markedly different from Zelensky's last appearance at the White House back in February. It was almost jovial, especially considering the stakes. And there were some tangible takeaways as well. As we heard, Trump is pushing for a bilateral meeting between Putin and Zelensky, which was one of the Ukrainian president's main objectives for this meeting going into it. That could be followed by a trilateral meeting with the U.S. president being present. And we also heard a lot about potential security guarantees. It sounds like the European leaders are convinced that the U.S. will take some sort of a role in a security guarantee for Ukraine after any sort of agreement is reached with Russia. So there's a lot to chew on as the European leaders gather. They will have an EU summit this week coming up. There will be a call with interested parties just today. So there's a lot more going ahead this week, and we can expect more progress.
Some sort of a role for the U.S. You got to question how big a role the U.S. will play. What are the next steps here, Balazs? Are we any closer to a peace deal?
Well, certainly very, very large hurdles remain. We know that Ukraine and Russia are very far apart in their objectives, very far apart in what they would want a peace to look like. There's the question of territory, and there's the question of security guarantees. President Trump left the question of U.S. involvement vague. The European leaders talked about something like a NATO-like set up for Ukraine, where European countries and some sort of U.S. support would come to Ukraine's aid should something happen, should that become necessary. But there's a lot to be worked out. We don't know the details. We don't know who would be involved, and we certainly don't know to what degree the U.S. might commit.